Hey there, welcome to Mobile Music Thursday. I'm Jason Jones, and this week we're going to bypass the charts altogether and get right to our interview. We're going to talk to Jeremy Landby, who's just at the end of the prom season, wrapping things up and letting us know pretty much what are the new hot songs going into summer as far as the teens are concerned from the prom. Was Selfie with Chainsmokers the rager, the one that everyone was always requesting and everyone's always excited about? Or is it more of a tool to kind of get people to play with their phones and have fun and interact actually during the dance? How about John Legend? Is he still carrying weight, or is that mostly with older folks? And other questions I'm wondering, is Avicii as big with the kids as it is with mom and dad? We're going to find out in just a moment. This is Mobile Music Thursday with our guest, Jeremy Landby. Jeremy is the owner of The Undertakers, which is a mobile DJ company based out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, plays all over the Midwest, and does a lot of great shows and does a lot of focus on schools. So he's going to let us know what that's all about. Jeremy, it's terrific to have you back on the show. I have to tell you, I appreciate so much that you took out, this is like one of the busiest times of your year, that you took out some time to be able to talk about the music that you're playing while you're out there doing school prom after school prom. Are you in the thick of it? Is this about midway?
No, just at the end.
Just at the end.
Yeah, we've got one more weekend of proms this coming weekend, and that'll wrap it up. And then we've got a couple of grad parties and end of the school year dances. And that'll about do it, Jason.
And then that'll do it. And then it's vacation for you, like an accountant. This is your end of, you get through all the work and then go on vacation, right?
Yeah, I'm almost to April 15th.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Awesome.
Same.
And when is vacation?
Vacation, pardon me, will be the second week of June through July. So
that's
about
awesome.
2.5, 3 weeks, hopefully. So
I'll look forward to getting those plane tickets in the mail. I can't wait. You're going to be so fun to be on vacation with, I got to tell you. So what music are you playing? This is all about music, right? I have some specific questions. So is Selfie as big as it seems like it's going to be? Are they going nuts over it, or is that more just like we think they should be?
They're not going as nuts as I thought they were going to go. I build up Selfie where I have everybody take out their cell phones and they're taking selfies of each other, and that builds up the anticipation for the song.
Okay.
But it hasn't been as big as I thought it was going to be. It really isn't. My main songs this year, Turn Down for What, probably the biggest song at prom.
Really?
Huge. And Animals. Animals is probably within my first 5 songs of starting the prom dance, and that gets everybody out there.
Wow, Animals is the hook.
Animals is the hook. I had one of the big Rochester, Minnesota proms last weekend, and we had just under 800 students, and Animals was it. I mean, I got all 800 out on the dance floor, just pumped up and just amazing. Yeah, that was great.
That is awesome. That's really great, especially when you can kick off like that. So then what do you follow that up with to keep the momentum?
Last weekend I followed up with Red Lights. From there I went into a mix with a little Armin van Buuren, and then I went into a classic like We Like to Party, and that worked out really, really well. I do all video mixing, so it's all the music video and the song, and of course with the Pioneer you can edit everything on the spot.
Sure.
So Turn Down for What probably isn't the best video to be playing at a prom.
Well, that's my next question is going to be like, are there enough like clean videos or clean versions without constantly fuzzing everything out?
I'll usually run maybe an ambient when it comes to that, or I'll do a live shot of the crowd.
Oh, sure.
And obviously they love seeing themselves up on the screen, so yeah, that's cool.
You have a lot of different places to go. Do you have to remember to switch away, or can you set those cue points, like video cue points, in the song?
You can, because I'm so familiar with the songs now after working with
so much.
For about 2 months. Yeah, it's been, I know kind of where everything is, and it's like, all right, well, I'm going to play this section of the video for 30 seconds, switch to the crowd, and then maybe another 15 or 20 seconds, and then switch to the crowd, and so, yep.
Awesome. What about, have you been getting any requests that have surprised you?
I'm just kind of going through my playlist now.
or is it a lot of it kind of what you expected?
Not really. Last weekend I had my company had a prom. I didn't do this one, but it was a Great Gatsby theme,
Oh, cool.
and they wanted a lot of the Great Gatsby songs at the prom.
Mm-hmm.
And we got our playlist ready. We had 5 or 6 videos from the Great Gatsby, and we were mixing them in with the music videos from those songs that were in the movie.
Yeah.
And it went okay. It wasn't as big of a hit as I thought they thought that it was going to be.
You mean those songs weren't as appealing? The people weren't like kind of jumping into the theme and the whole designed experience for them?
Exactly, yeah. And I actually had a couple of requests last weekend at my prom. Same type of thing. They wanted to hear some of the songs from Great Gatsby. I said, yeah, I got them all.
Sure.
I played a couple, and it was towards the end of the night, but it didn't go.
It was just kind of flat.
It was kind of flat. I got into about a minute and a half of it, and I just switched over to something else because it wasn't working.
Kind of like the idea of the Gatsby and the party and the movie and the opulence is more alluring and exciting than the actual recreating that experience, maybe.
Yeah, recreating it's a little more tough.
Sure, right. Yeah, because, I mean, it's an awful lot of extravagance to try to recreate.
It really
it's just taking on the challenge of even doing that theme to kind of create the look of that kind of opulence. Did you do a lot with lighting to help create that kind of environment to go with the Gatsby, or was it kind of more because you have a pretty huge nightclub-like show that you bring, or is it still pretty much kind of the nightclub show that's incorporated into what they're doing?
It was the nightclub show that was incorporated. This weekend's proms. We have a Great Gatsby theme on Saturday, along with just some regular themed dance parties and for proms. But our last Great Gatsby theme, they're incorporating a casino into their prom, and they're incorporating. We're using uplighting all over, and of course our dance club feel.
Sure.
So that's kind of what they're looking for, and it's been a great ambiance. I mean, the students walk in and the parents walk in for Grand March, and it's amazing. I mean, it's cool. But to have that feel for their dance, just I don't think the students can hit that mark as much as the faculty thinks that they can. Maybe
right. As far as they'll play along with the theme kind of all night long, but they want to dance to what they like to dance to.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So
not to get too hung up on that. See, I've heard that a lot of kids have been getting tuned with the Gatsby and that type of music, although the soundtrack isn't quite, some of the songs aren't really quite electro swing, but this electro swing genre is kind of taking off. And with these themes, have you been getting any requests for any of that sort of stuff? Caravan Palace, Parov Stellar, or any of that stuff?
No requests at all.
No, so that's not really, that's just a small niche.
It's a small niche, yeah.
Okay.
So looking through my playlist, like we talked about 3-4 weeks ago when we Skyped before, Talk Dirty, of course, big song.
Yep.
Still is a big song.
Sure.
Probably within the top 5
Still
or
in the top 10 on downloads.
Absolutely a huge. Dark Horse was really big last weekend. All of Me by John Legend, of course, for a slow song was great. I have not played Pompeii for a dance song this year.
Okay.
I played it as kind of a cocktail hour for kind of a pre-dance, and that's worked out really well to kind of get kids going.
Makes more sense. It's like, you kind of can bop to it, but it's kind of hard to get out and dance to.
It is, yeah. Rather than that, Timber, of course, has been real big. Counting Stars.
What about that? I mean, right now, the song Problems is Smokin' Hot by Grande. Is it Ariana?
Ariana Grande?
Ariana Grande, yeah, that is my bad memory here. But yeah, so that song has been like smoking hot, featured on American Idol and all these sort of things. Did you know she really talks like that? Have you seen her on Sam and Cat, the kids show? I watch. Yeah, why would you watch kids shows, right? I have a kid, so I watch kids shows all the time, and she's on one of them, and she talks like this all the time. And I'm thinking, are you just a bad actress? But she actually talks like that. That's what she was on American Idol. Thanks for having me here on American Idol. Like, that's weird. But she doesn't sing that way, fortunately. So have you had a big? Are you getting much response when you play it, or are you not even really playing it?
I replayed it. I played it at the beginning a little bit, and not a very good response.
Oh, really? So people aren't really hooking. It's more hype than it is actually young people catching on to it.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm getting at too. Fancy by Iggy has been really big this
Oh,
year.
okay, the fancy song. My wife's
Yep.
been singing that song to me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Happy by Pharrell has been huge. We've got a couple of great video remixes that we've been using for that.
You think
Um,
that'll be huge next year too? Or, big enough to pull out again?
I don't think so.
No, you don't think
Think
it'll
so.
stand the
No,
test?
I'm looking at a couple of those songs from years gone by that have been great.
Mm-hmm.
Thrift Shop, huge again this year,
Oh,
huge.
great.
And I'll play maybe what's the other one from Macklemore? Can't
Can't
hold.
Hold Us? Yeah,
Yeah,
Ceiling. That's a
and
great dance song. Really
not
excellent
as
energy in that.
it
It's
is,
a
but
really good
not.
hook, even if you don't know the song.
That's true. That's true. But just it hasn't been as big as Thrift Shop. Thrift Shop is still kind of the leader when it comes to the Macklemore songs, and all the kids know it. They sing
Mm-hmm.
along. Of course, we edit the song as we
Sure.
go.
Right.
But yeah, there's a couple of f bombs or whatever being dropped there.
Yep.
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's worked out really well with Thrift Shop. Um,
Well, is that
taking
so? You think that's probably going to be, or not to put words in your mouth? Do you think rather that that's going to fall into the categories of like the Usher Yas, where you set it aside and you can kind of pull it out to keep the party going for a few years running?
it's worked for the past, since it came out. I would say yes. I would put it in that ace category, that one of those top songs that you can pull out anytime, kind of my secret weapon category.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm looking for something and I can't think of, gosh, what am I going to play next?
Right.
I go into that crate and there's my secret weapons, and that's part of my secret weapon arsenal right now. So yeah, absolutely.
Great. Can you name off some of the other songs that are in your secret weapon arsenal where it's like, all right, I need to inject some energy into this party right now, and I'm going to pull this out, and because I know this is going to hit or pull or draw, whatever word you want to use.
Okay, Flow Rider Low.
Low.
By
Oh, every time.
huge. Every time, every time. Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, depending on my crowd.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially for schools, they love that song.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while, I'll go way back and grab like Cotton Eye Joe, and that usually still works. The classics are really in that library, but then again, I've got some others that maybe you wouldn't think of. Boom Boom by the Vanga Boys. I don't
Oh,
know if you're
really?
from about 12, 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
That has been a big hit still. The kids just seem like they all know it and they just sing along.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned a few minutes ago, Vanga Boys, We Like to Party.
Yes.
That's always a good hit.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So it's just
Michael.
things
Michael.
that really, really
There's
work.
danger, Michael. Oh, I'm sorry. I was having a Knight Rider moment.
it's my ringtone on my iPhone. Yeah,
I love
my
it.
writer. Yeah.
Now I have another song I have to get.
Hey, perfect. Yeah. Obviously Usher. Yeah, that's one of the biggest. I got into a set the other night where the crowd wasn't. I didn't have a whole lot of kids leaving, but
Mm-hmm.
kids were just getting wore out.
Oh, okay, sure.
Just
Yep, that
one
can
of those
happen.
times of the night. Yeah, probably midway through the dance, and I slipped in Usher. Yeah, and they were right back on that dance floor.
Their
Just the
energy's right
energy
back up.
just came right back to the room. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Oh, this is
that
this is my
was-
ringtone, just so you know.
oh,
Isn't
nice.
that pretty? It came with the Apple, so it's not really special or anything, but it does have a nice chime when we're doing a show. Anyway,
It does. I like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
we want to look busy. We're not just hanging around talking about music. So tell me
Sure.
about how's dubstep doing?
Very, very little this year for proms.
Really?
Yep, yep.
Now you say for proms, like for other dances, you pull out the dubstep?
Sure, sure. For other dances, I'll pull out a few songs here and there, but that was more last fall than this past spring. I haven't gotten any requests for it.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very little.
That
So
seems surprising that it's that short-lived. I expected it to be just with the intensity of it. I expected it to have a longer tail of popularity.
the electronic music, yes. Some of those electronic songs, like I said, like Animals. Martin's got a new song now that I played the other night that was also very, very huge. Can't remember it off the top of my head, but awesome, awesome song.
How about Avicii? The radio is playing Avicii to death. They've been playing Avicii to death for a year now, or has it been longer? You know, Aloe Black was awesome. I love that song, "Wake Me Up." Love it, love it, love it, love it. Not necessarily for the reasons that maybe Avicii loves it, but and then Hello Brothers just kind of a take on his new little kind of spin on the genre. Is that more the parents' music, or is this something that they're digging?
They're not digging it.
They're not digging it.
I haven't been playing it. I've gotten no requests from Avicii from the proms that I've done, and now with 5 or 6 proms myself that I've got down, and then, like I said, one more this coming weekend. Nothing. And a wide range of students. I'm going out to most of the schools that I'm doing are 300 plus students for prom, up to 1,000. This coming weekend's 1,000 students, but I'll stay with my playlist that I'm very used to, and I won't get a whole lot of requests. I mean, I'll have the students out there.
Well, that's a good sign.
It is, yeah, and they're out there. They're having a great time. I'm having very few students, like I said, leave because the hits have just been flowing, and it's been working out really, really well. But Avicii, nah, just haven't seen any requests for Avicii at all. No.
That's great. That's a great barometer. You know, I always feel like when I'm getting a lot of requests, it's that I'm off the mark because they have time to think about what else they'd like to hear rather than just being into whatever I'm playing. So I'm like, man, I've got to find the drift with this crowd, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's because they're trying to think. Here, let me help you help this party. No, I don't want help. I just want to do it well.
I just want to play my music.
Right. I'm just trying to make this great for everybody. Quit asking me questions. So, but no, that's a really good barometer because then those nights like you're experiencing where you're not really getting many requests. People are just digging the vibe you're creating in the room. You're hitting the mark. You're hitting what they like and what turns them on and things like that. Is there a degree of familiarity too? Because these are the schools that you play for pretty regularly. It's kind of like a lot of these kids grow up with you, and so they come to expect. Do you program with that kind of thing in mind? Like, where you create a certain, because there's a certain element that makes this an Undertaker show that somebody else coming in isn't going to like. It's like, oh, well, this isn't the Undertakers. Even though they might be playing similar music, they're not doing your show.
That's true. That's exactly it. Going back to what you just said, a lot of the students only see us once a year because a lot of schools now are just focusing all of their big dance on their prom.
Wow.
So and right now for next year, I'm already 75% booked for next year's prom. Where everybody that's booked this year has booked next year except for 2 or 3 schools that usually don't book until September.
Sure.
So everybody's already on board for next year, which is great. But I would love to see them during homecoming, during Snowfest season,
right.
and I don't. A lot of those schools will just book us that one time. So they do maybe a junior going into a senior. When they're a senior next year, they're going to expect this show,
right.
and they're going to expect the excitement of that show.
Right.
A sophomore going to be a junior next year has never seen the show, so they're not really sure what to expect. They just hear from the juniors going to be seniors on what this is going to be and how big this event is going to be. So as you're saying with the playlist and what the students are expecting, yeah, some of those schools were there for 3 or 4 dances for the rest of the year, and they expect a certain type of music. They expect a certain type of energy, and we deliver that every time. Right. But those other schools that don't see us for just once a year, it's a little different because last weekend I was at a school we've never been at.
Okay.
The same city we do a couple of the schools in the city that we were in. So the students have seen us at the other high school dances, but they've never seen us at their high school, and they were very happy to have us. We were very happy to be there. It went fantastic, and I think we definitely raised the bar when it comes to school dances after being at that school this past weekend.
Great. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. It's like you've got to. What I like about you and your shows is that you're always competing against yourself. It's like we had an extraordinary show. Now that is the bar. That's the bar to meet and beat. Is that? It's not about looking around and going like, okay, where are we at? Oh, hey, we're good. We can coast.
Yeah, it's never like that. It's always when I'm doing these shows this year, I'm thinking, how can we better these shows for next year? What can I do to make these shows even more fantastic?
Michael.
Nightwave's calling me again. Yeah.
Your car needs you.
But I'm looking around the room. I'm looking at our show and the students' reactions and thinking, there's improvement here. How can we improve on this? And there's always room for improvement, no matter what. And I always see that with shows. So yeah,
awesome, Jeremy. Thanks so much for taking the time
to
talk
Jason.
music with us, to share your experiences and what's working. It's a huge asset to me and everyone who watches.
Great, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll touch base maybe early fall and take a look at homecoming season coming up fall of 2014. So
excellent. It's a date.
Hey, thanks so much, Jason.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
You bet.
Well, that's it this week for Mobile Music Thursday. Leave your comments right down below here on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. And coming up very soon, something very exciting happening on Mobile Music Thursdays. So keep that under your hat, because that's going to be coming your way and coming your way soon. But I can't say any more about it than that, or I'll be in big trouble. So with that, we'll talk to you again next week. For Mobile Music Thursday, I'm Jason Jones.